Alright guys, so today we're going to be working on my brother's 1996 Toyota Celica GT 2.2 liter. So his transmission was acting up and it's the clutch, and we're going to have to remove all this, and we're going to take out the driver and the passenger tire out. And then once we're done with that, we're going to jack the car up and then get under there and just start working on it now. So we'll get started. So now that I got the airbox and battery removed, we're going to go ahead and start unbolting little things like the starter. And I'm going to get the cables that are for the gearbox off, and then anything else like that's plugged in. Make sure everything's plugged in before you start taking it apart. Okay, so now I'm under here and just going to see if I can take the drain plug off, because a lot of things on this car was stripped. And I had already loosened this, but since it's stripped, I'm just gonna use some pliers to take it off. We ordered a brand new plug anyways, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to take it out so we can drain the fluids out of the transmission case. Be sure to also check before you remove the drain plug. Check to see if you can remove the fill plug, so you're able to fill the transmission case up back with fluids. It's very important, that way you're not left without fluids in case you need to move it. So this is the fill plug, and as you can see, I had already loosened it just to make sure I was able to fill this back up once I put everything back together. A lot of times it's just very difficult to remove, but in this case it wasn't so difficult. Only the drain plug got stripped. Okay, so I finally got the plate back on. I don't know if I mentioned the torque specs for the flywheel. I torqued them to 39 foot-pounds of torque, and for the pressure plate I did 14 pounds. I can take this out, and don't forget to put this cover plate on because I forgot to, so I had to take this off and then do everything all over again. And now I'm gonna mount the transmission, and this is the little wire thing that we broke. My brother fixed it, soldered it, and got the new one back on there. So now I gotta move all this stuff out the way and then put the tranny up on here. Surprisingly, the transmission isn't super heavy. It's pretty heavy, but like I can lift it myself. Yeah, I wish I had a jack because it would save me from freaking doing extra work, but I had told my dad I didn't want one when the opportunity came up, and I regret it, so that's my fault. So I'm gonna suffer for that. And yeah, so I'm just gonna put it back up, and hopefully I don't forget anything else. Like I forgot this thing plate, so I take the tranny back off and everything back off. Anyways, I'm gonna put it back up now again. Live and learn. Gotta get better leverage on it. Make sure nothing's in the way. No. brake. One that'll fucking actually fit. Okay, so now I just gotta bolt it up, just back walk everything again, and be good to go, hopefully. There we go. Just a few more. It's only getting torqued down to 27 pounds. Alright, so I got a bunch of stuff back on. Got the shift linkages on. Starter, all the bolts bolted up. Tranny mount. I just gotta work on the rear. I think it's the rear tranny mount or the rear engine mount. And then that one is for the front of the tranny mount. And that's pretty much it. So now I just gotta piece all the stuff together. Oh yeah, the 14, right? All right, so putting everything back together wasn't a big deal. The only issue I had was the driver's side axle. I actually had to put the wheels back on and everything, roll it out of the garage because it was such a tiny garage. And I was able to get enough leverage to get like a piece of like wood and like a heavy hammer. And I popped the axle that goes into the drive line, into the transmission, back on pretty easy. And then other than that, he's been driving it for maybe a couple weeks now. So everything was good.